Hello, I'm Robin Ferguson, owner of the Knittin Coop in downtown Salem, Virginia.
Our first question for you is, what was your drive to open your yarn store? When did this idea first come about, and what did that initial process look like?
Well, it goes back to my childhood. My grandmother was a big influence in my life, and at the age of 5, she started me with handwork, so sewing, crocheting, knitting. Um, 37 years ago, I worked in downtown Salem's only yarn shop, um, and that's when the seed was really planted that this was my passion. This is what I enjoy doing. It just took a long time for that seed to germinate.
Absolutely. So you'd say mostly your childhood is what inspired you to open your shop?
Yes, my childhood and my grandmother, she was a big influence. It just the timing has to be right. If I had done this 20 years ago, I don't know what it would have looked like. Instead, I started in August of 2019, and 6 months later, COVID hit.
Hmm. So that was probably a little bit of a challenge for you, wasn't it?
It was a challenge, but it just made me dig a little deeper and a little bit harder. Had to change the way I did business. Curbside pickup, local deliveries, ramped up my website. So it just made me pivot a little bit and change the way I did business.
Absolutely. I took a look through your website and it was very up to date. All the Halloween sort of decorations on the calendar page as well. So it looks very nice.
Well, thank you. I admittedly, and I tell all of my customers when they come in, I am the world's worst at a newsletter. So I hit Facebook, Instagram, and I have a paper calendar. There are people who like to have that in hand calendar. So I have them in the shop that they can pick up, or they can bookmark them on the website and go to them to see what classes and what kind of activities we have going on here.
Since your store is open, what for you have you found to be the greatest joy of running your shop and then the greatest challenge?
Well, the greatest challenge, obviously, we'll start with that because it's still among us. Still dealing with the little bits of COVID here and there. I'm hoping it goes away soon, but we'll see. The joy has been building my community, um, realizing, through COVID, how much we need our customers and our people and how social this activity, knitting and crocheting, is. So the joy is building my community, having those people around me, and just creating more knitters, more crocheters, and more makers.
We hear it so often from our shops that the community is something you just gotta see for yourself. Like on the outside, it's hard to sort of see what the shops are seeing, but when you get there and you see everyone sort of gathered together as a community, it's really an incredible thing to see.
It really is. And we do, and I know I'm probably jumping ahead, but we do a lot of community-based projects here. And having those people around me. When I first opened the shop, I had friends say, "You're going to do what?" And they didn't realize what a big industry this is and how large the making community is. So I'm just happy to have my people around me.
For sure. Definitely makes it easier, especially I'm sure you have some regulars that come in as well, and
Yes.
I'm sure that helps a lot.
It really does. We've got a lot of regulars. I've expanded to 2 sit and stitch days. So I'll have afternoon group and I'll have the evening group. There's some people who just simply don't want to go out at night. So kind of expanded it to have a daytime session as well. And um, makers from knitters and crocheters from both attend.
our next question for you, relating to the yarns here, what sort of goes through your mind when you're deciding what type of yarns you want in your store?
Well, I keep my ear open all the time to what customers are coming in asking for. So if, I keep a mental note going, if I don't have it, I'm going to find it and get it for them. And Universal Yarn has such a wide variety of yarns. I am a new stockist to Universal, and it has been one of my best sellers.
I'm glad to hear that. I looked through your website and saw some of our yarns. Offbeat, definitely one of the new ones here that's done really well so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to restock on that too because it's just about gone.
And then the classics like Bamboo Pop and Bamboo Pop Sock that everybody seems to love as well.
But it's all about listening to what the customer's looking for. When I first opened the shop, I'm a blue person. I always pick blue. I don't know why. So when I opened the shop, I made a conscious effort. Don't choose everything blue. But I found that the majority of people like the color blue.
Especially down here in North Carolina, with
um,
all the colleges here. So
Yep, that's another big thing. This time of year, I love to decorate my front window, and I know that we have a lot of walkers that walk the downtown area, so I make a point of changing the front windows seasonally, and so this time of year, it's all about football and sports teams.
absolutely. Going along with the yarn question there, for your customers, what seems to be their favorite fiber content and yarn weight at your store?
Uh, Mine customers really, really like fingering sock and DK. That they do a lot of shawl work and a lot of sock knitters, but it just seems to be that DK is the heaviest that they really want to go to. Being in this part of Virginia, winters are very unpredictable. Last year we did have a cold winter, but it's just one of those things where we don't start getting cold until February. So people kind of keep it light. And having the sock yarns perfect for shawls. And the DK is perfect for that middleweight sweater.
Yeah, climate, I'm sure in Virginia is unpredictable, just like here in North Carolina as well. So, um, and then what you mentioned shawls. What other type of projects do your customers like to create?
Uh, well, we it really does seem like everybody is shawl knitting. I'm trying to get them to do more sweaters, but we and again, touching on something that we'll talk about is the community based. So there's a lot of cottons used for the soap sacks. We're getting ready to hit knitted knockers, so we're going to be using bamboo pop and radiant cotton for that. And those are just the ones that I just get them involved in, get them to try to take part in for those projects. But it really is everybody pretty much does shawls. I mean, it's and baby sweaters. There are baby sweaters.
Do you find that your customers are more willing to take challenges, or does it feel like, you know, they need a little bit of a nudge, or how does that sort of work?
Sometimes, I mean, I do nudge them into trying things new, but they do like a challenge. So, when I come up with a project that we're going to do a knit along on, eh, if it has brioche in it, somebody's going to put their heels in, but I can usually try to get them to at least give it a try. But they do like a little bit of a challenge, just they don't want to be angry at their knitting.
That's how you get better, is challenging yourself. So,
That's
and that's
right.
That's something I learned never being a knitter or crocheter coming into this job and now learning each and every day how to um, acquire those skills. So,
Yeah.
so with our yarns at your store, including Rico Design, what seems to be the favorite for your customers?
They really like the bamboo pop sock. That has been a huge, huge seller. The colors are fabulous. The label, the tags that you guys put on there that show how it knits up makes it so easy for them to choose their color. Sometimes they can't choose one, so they just buy multiple. But that is a great option that you guys have put on there to give them that visual.
Thank you. Yeah, we hear a lot of stores really enjoy the bamboo pop sock. I say personally, I just like looking at it. I think it just looks um, amazing. It looks fun. So, excuse me. That's a very popular one. I have some sitting right next to me as well. So, um, that's great to hear. So, next question, going back to when you opened your store back in August of 2019, what advice would you give to yourself? Maybe if you knew what was coming, what would you say to yourself to best prepare for opening a yarn shop?
Oh wow. That's that's such a hard one because you know just beginning the building of my community, 6 months wasn't enough. Um and I just feel like I would have told myself, keep at it. I it Yeah, it has been a difficult road, but I'm like a pit bull with a bone. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to hang on to it for a little while. So just keep moving forward one step at a time, one foot in front of the other.
That's interesting. A lot of shops have mentioned to us some like logistic things that they would have done better, not getting every single color or, you know, something with the phones or something like that. So it's interesting to hear more of a motivational side of it. Just keep pushing through. That's, I think, inspiring as well.
Well, being that I had just opened 6 months prior, I did not have a lot of stock when I opened. I opened it with the intention of building my inventory and building my community. So, people who came into my store in October of 2019, they come in today, they're going to see a totally different store than when they walked in before. It is a big space. I had a lot to fill, and I think I have. I'm running out of room.
So you sort of took the perspective of I'm not gonna, flood my store with yarn to start with. I'm just gonna start small and then see what the customers say and build from there. Next question we got for you is what do you find is your favorite part of working with our company, Universal Yarn?
You guys are so nice. The customer service is amazing. The shipping, I order something, it's here in 2 days. Of course, we're just a border apart from one another, but it's still having the personalities that you have there. Everybody is so willing to help, and the fact that I know when I order something, it'll be here in no time.
Absolutely.
Website is awesome too. Makes it so easy to order.
Well, thank you. Christy and Kristen certainly do a great job back in customer service. Um, so we'll send that to them and let them know that you're appreciative and we thank you for that as well.
Well, thank you.
Um, what does your day to day look like within the shop, I couldn't help but notice your picture you sent of the shop dog as well. We love to see that. So what does that sort of look like for you each and every day?
Um, you know, this is my happy place. This is where I come, and I'm just meeting people, helping people. I'm a block away from Roanoke College. I've got a lot of college students coming in. They're crocheting and knitting. They're wanting to learn how. From the moment I open the door, it's open arms for everybody. And of course, Rudy, shop dog, is always willing to greet and say hello and get his treat.
And I love to hear the college students coming in and crocheting and knitting, the
Yeah,
younger generation.
today is this afternoon will be the afternoon sit and stitch, and then Thursday evenings is sit and stitch. So um, this afternoon it'll be pretty bustling here with bodies in the community social room, I call it. It really, I have people come in and go, "Do you live here? Is this your house?" Because it does look, it's very warm, it's very homey, and I feel like people want that. They want to come into a shop where they feel welcome.
So take us through the knit and stitch a little bit. What does that look like for your shop and your community?
Well, we have multiple projects that we're working on. I'm admittedly a little ADD knitter. So we're getting ready to start on knitted knockers. We'll be doing that this evening. Uh, we've got the West Knits Mystery Knit Along that we're getting ready to start, and all of the sweater weather things that we're working on. We've got a lot of outside of the shop activities that we do. Once a month, we have Pints and Pearls. We've got a local brewery, and we go down to Pints and Pearls and play bingo, knit, crochet, and have beverages.
What is special about your town and city and your community and what type of events? I know you mentioned um, the Knitted Knockers program and going to the local brewery as well, but if you just want to expand on that question and that answer.
Sure. Like I mentioned earlier, we do a lot of community-based projects, knitted knockers, soap sacks. Um, the knitted knockers, there stipulations on the yarn types, which are approved yarns, which I now stock from Universal for those. They will be sent either to the organization Knitted Knockers, or they will stay here based in our community, depending upon how many we get. And then soap sacks, the soap sacks do stay here local. They are made up, and I take them to our food pantry. And then we have one that I started here at the shop. That first winter that I opened is called the Make Warmth Project. And a lot of my makers, knitters, crocheters, even some seamstresses will make items that I put in plastic bags and I hang out front for people to take as they need it. It is, I call it the Make Warmth Project. Hats, gloves, mittens, scarves, cowls, they all hang out front. The first year I did it, 38 items were taken. The second year I did it, 72 items were taken. And last year, 182 items were taken.
Wow.
So it's been a big, big hit within the community. And I'm thinking this year, since I can't hang them all out here, I may ask local churches if they would mind having them on their grounds for people to take.
Wow. We love to see that you're doing amazing things in your community that really are impacting lives. So thank you for sharing all of that as well.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
so that's the last question I have for you. If you want to expand on anything, um, any just notes you have or anything about the staff or the shop, feel free to expand on that.
Oh, I appreciate that. I thank you for the time to do this, to, give my shop a little bit of a lift and a little bit of um, acknowledgement for being one of your stockists and enjoying, working with you. And if I would just like for people to, check me out on Instagram or Facebook, or if you're in downtown Salem, Virginia, stop in and say hey.